Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Donald H. Jones Stadium here at Kiski campus, Salzburg, Pennsylvania. Today we'll bring you boys soccer as we have Western Reserve Pioneers coming in from Hudson, Ohio with a record of 9-7-4, led by Coach Herb Haller, taking on our Cougars of Kiski with a record of 12-2-3, led by Coach Jaunty Laux. We're anticipating a pretty good game here this afternoon. Kiski's coming off a big win last weekend against South Kent on homecoming day last Saturday, 5-1 win. Led by Mamadou Tall as our leading goal scorer, but we have quite a few people who can put the ball in the net. Adrian Alvarez has quite a few goals. Cam Hernandez has put some in. Mateo Sakara scores quite a few goals for us. Santiago Valencia, he's another one that puts it in, huh, Danny? And then we have solid defenders back in the back end. Center backs of Correa and Yang. I mean, that's as solid as you can get on the back end for the Cougars of Kiski. Right back and left back alternates from game to game. Today, I believe we're going to be going with Mr. Park and Mr. Yates at the two right and left backs. And Mr. Corletta will be sitting out today. We have a couple guys for the Cougars going to be taking a day off, preparing for the upcoming state playoffs. Cougars have earned the number 1 seed in the state playoffs and trying to defend for they're going for their 4th title. It'll be 4th title in 5 years, but 4th in a row as far as what has been played, because 2020 we didn't have a season. So Cougars have been state champs 19, 21, and 22 and have secured the number 1 seed for the state playoffs coming up. State playoffs have actually started. They had a first round bye, and what is it? Spring Chestnut Hill or something like that. What is it, Wesley? Do you know? Wesley doesn't know. Don't ask Wesley any questions. What is it? Spring? I got it in an email. Maybe I'll just check the email, huh? But anyways, that has been confirmed. We will be playing Tuesday at 3 p.m. here at Kiski for what will be a quarterfinal round game of the PISA, the Pennsylvania Independent Scholastic Athletic Association Championships. And we will be playing, and let me check it out here. I did just get a email about it today. SCH, yeah, it's Springside Chestnut Hill. So I was close, right? Wasn't right? I was close. I knew it had the spring and the chestnut and all that in there. I just didn't have it all. I kind of had it jumbled up, right? So it's Springside Chestnut Hill Academy. We'll be taking on the Cougars this coming Tuesday, November 7th at 3 p.m. here at Donald H. Jones Stadium on the Kiski campus. We got about a minute left of warm-up time prior to game starting. We're going to be playing 2 45-minute halves today. It's FIFA rules. This is league game for the Cougars, and Cougars and Western Reserve are in the same league. They play 45-minute halves FIFA rules. Cougars will be playing, and the Pioneers will both be playing next weekend. Or not next weekend. What weekend? That's the weekend of, I think it's November 17th or so. We'll be playing in the league championship tournament. That would be the Friday and Saturday prior to Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be traveling with that, Wesley. Do you know that? Yeah, I'll be traveling with that. So we're going to make another trip. You love it when Coach we'll be in the van together again, Wesley. Heck yeah. So we'll be spending some nights out in the Philadelphia area for that. All right, getting ready for kickoff. We got some nice ball boys down here helping us out here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Ben Dunkelberger's helping us out. Langston Overton down there helping us out. Over on the far side, we have Oliver Marceau and Maxime Dory. Who's the other little guy helping us that was the soccer guy? What's our other guy's name? Wesley. Wesley took the SAT today, and his brain is drained. He says he can't answer any other questions because SAT drained him today, Braden. SAT has drained him. He doesn't know anybody's name. Doesn't know anybody's numbers. Nothing, but that's okay. Here we go. And the Cougars are huddled up. And Polga Alvarez will have the captain's band on for the Cougars, and I don't see the captain's band on anybody for the Pioneers yet, but not saying it's not out there. But do they don't have to wear one? Okay. Well, I don't see one, but did you say they don't have to have one, right? Right, Dan? Oh, they do have to have one. Oh, they must have one. Right? Maybe they're hiding it. I don't know. He has a. All right. That's all right. We'll figure it out when. If we see one, we'll let you know. It looks like the Pioneers are going to be putting the ball in play to start the game. And ready to roll. Here we go. Let's get ready to roll on the clock here. If you want, you can use this here also, Wesley. Just hit that. Looks like number 4, Penna, puts it in play for the Pioneers. Tries to get it to number 6, but intercepted by Valencia. Kicked ahead gathered in by the Pioneers. 4, again, trying to feed it up through to number 6. Back to 4, Penna. Shot on goal, over the goal. Oscar lets it sail over his head. It's over his head, and he will have a goal kick. Number 6 is Torak. Number 4 is Penna. Cates for the Cougars sends it deep, but sent back in by the Pioneers. Kicked over by Yang, over to Valencia. Valencia tries to feed it up to Alvarez. Alvarez gathers it at his feet, dribbling through some traffic. Still dribbling through. Has some room, puts a firing shot on goal, stopped by Robinson. Kicked out by the Pioneers, but gathered in by Sakara on the far right side for the Cougars. Trying to dribble down, crosses it in, and picked off by Robinson, goalie for the Pioneers. Robinson surveying the scene, rolls it out to number 19, Davis Novak. Pioneers tried to work it up that left side, goes out of bounds. Cougars will have a throw in. Park throws it in, goes deep looking for Tall. Tall kicks it into the middle to Rosada. Rosada weaves around some people trying to get to Tall, but he was offsides, and Robinson will put it back in play for the Pioneers. No, he's going to let number 19, Novak, put it in. He drives it deep over the head of the Cougars defense, sends it the whole way back to Oscar, the goalie for the Cougars, sends it out to Correa. Correa dribbling it up through, tries to feed a long ball, but intercepted. Ray Vaughn, Rainford gathers it in up to Valencia, feeds a pass through to Tall, dribbling through traffic, trying to get a shot on goal, still being defended, has it down in the far corner. Tall still has it on his foot, knocked out of bounds by number 10, Mormano of the Pioneers. Rainford will have a throw in for the Cougars. Throws it into the middle to Rosado, but the Pioneers have it. Penna sends it back to 19, Novak, sends a deep ball, but it's out of bounds, setting up a Cougar throw in for Park. Park sends a deep throw, trying to hit Tall, sends it to Sakaro, but intercepted by Novak. Back to Rosada, but here comes the Pioneers. Penna feeds it up the left side. Pioneers had a run going, but Cates had a nice slide tackle to kick it out of bounds. I can't see that number over there of the guy throwing in, but he sets it down. He's not going to throw it in. He's going to hand it off to 19, Novak. Novak throws it in, trying to find number 11. 11 is defended by Park. Up to Sakara, feeds it to Tall, feeds it back to Sakara, has room up the right side, trying to feed a long pass to Alvarez. He has it, but can't gather it in time to get a shot on goal. Runs it down, feeds it over to Valencia. Valencia shoots a shot over the goal, out of bounds. Be a goal kick for the Pioneers. Yeah, we're good, Eli. Thank you. Hey, if you could get into my room, there's a bowl in there for you. In the fridge. Yep. Pioneers have it. Novak sends it back across the field to number 20, Tan. Tan sends it up through to Torak to 13. 13 is Turk. Feeds it into the middle, but intercepted by, nope, back to Turek. Over to 26, Lazar. Back and forth. Rosado gathers it in to Yang, and we're back going with the Pioneers have control of the ball. Panna feeds it through to Lazar. Tries to feed it through, and he gets it to Pierrick. Feeds it to Panna. Still has it in the box. Deflected by Correa over into the corner to Rainford. Rainford sets it up tries to give it to Alvarez, but the Pioneers still have control of the ball. Panna dancing around. Tries to get a shot on goal, but deflected by Yates. Yates sends it back out to Turk. Turk, no. Alvarez coming the other way with speed. Looking for Valencia. Just overshoots him. Mamadou Tall deflects the kick by Robinson out, but here comes the Pioneers back up to midfield. Gathered in by Park of the Cougars, sends it back to the goal. Oscar sends it up for Correa, but too far, and the Pioneers are still controlling the ball. Turek over to Turk, to Penna, intercepted by Rainford, to Rosado. He still has it on his foot, feeds it up to Alvarez. Alvarez coming down the left side, looking for a crossing pass. No, shoots it on goal, just over the goal, off the football goalpost. Just missed. Nice shot by Alvarez over the head of Robinson. But Robinson will puts it back in play. And the Pioneers are now working up the left side of their own. 27 trying to get around Park, but it goes out of bounds, and the Cougars will have a throw-in. Park throws it deep for Tall. Tall sends it over to Sakara, keeping it on the side. Sends a crossing pass Tried for Alvarez, but it's sent back out. Valencia gathers it at about the 30 to Rainford. Up to Alvarez. Alvarez back to Rainford. Cougars are controlling the ball now. Sends it past. Tries to feed it down into Tall, but intercepted by Turk of the Pioneers. Headed by Rosado, and then again by Alvarez. Looked like a foul on the Pioneers, giving the Cougars a free kick. Cougars will have a free kick from about 33 meters out, 33 yards out from the goal here. Looks like either Alvarez or Valencia setting up to take. Looks like Valencia is going to take the free kick. Let's see what he does here. Alvarez sitting down on his left side. Sends a drive into the middle. Headed out by the Cougars. And we'll have a goal kick for the Pioneers. Robinson of the Pioneers setting it up. See if he's just going to tap it to a defender. He does. That's been their plan so far today. Number 20, 10, has it go off of a Cougar, and Turk for the Pioneers throws it into 26. Working on the side. Gets it back to Turek. Feeds it up through to 26. Lazar working down the right side. Feeds it through, but there's Oscar just in time to prevent Perrick from having a shot there. Pioneers had a good scoring chance. Oscar put the snuff on that. Park sends it across to Correa. Correa working it up. Still has it. Sends a long pass. Looking for Alvarez, but the Cougars are going to be called. Actually, that was Valencia he was looking for. Cougars are going to be offside. Pioneers will put it back in play. Turk will be putting it in play for the Pioneers. Still surveying the scene. Backing everybody off. Looks like he's going to go deep with it. No. Sends it in the middle. Valencia intercepts it. Up to Rosada. Feeds it to Sakara. Sakara gets a second chance at it. Still has it. Battling with he was battling with Novak over there. Goes out of bounds, setting the Cougars up with a throw in. Park looks like he's going to take the throw in, throwing it, tries to hit Tall off course, but Yang gathers it back to Park, sends it to Yates, and Yates is going to send it across to Correa. Correa tries to feed it up through, but Pena of the Pioneers deflects it back to Correa, and Correa sends it back to Oscar, sends it back up to Correa. Correa going for a deep ball, looking for Rainford down in the deep corner. Rainford does keep it. No, they blew him out. And giving the Pioneers a throw in. They throw it in. 26, Lazar feeds it up through the middle, but intercepted by the Cougars. Correa has it. Sends it up to Valencia, to Rainford. Tries to feather a pass through, but it's picked off by Turek of the Pioneers. Sends a deep ball into the middle, and Yang's there for the Cougars to intercept that. Up to Tall. Tall. And then we're just going back and forth and back and forth. Pioneers send it deep into the far left corner, but it's out of play, and the Cougars will have a throw-in. Park of the Cougars will have the throw-in. A lot of filling out going on out there, Danny. Back and forth. No, I mean, you had a couple scoring chances by both teams, but solid D and everything. Park has a throw-in, but here comes that Pena gets pushed off the ball by Sakara, and they're going to give the Pioneers the ball back. Looks like Novak 19 for the Pioneers is going to go down to throw it in. Throws it in, kick into the middle. There's the Cougars defense. Sends it up to the 40. intercepted by Alvarez. Alvarez sends it, trying to send it, feeding it to Tall, but Robinson of the goalie for the Pioneers sends it deep and out of bounds, setting up a goal kick for the Cougars. Oscar will take the goal kick. Sends it over to Correa. Correa is going to bring it up. Approaching the, sends a deep ball. Looking for Valencia. Valencia running it down, but can't get to it in time. And it'll go out of bounds for a Pioneer throw in. Turk throws it in for the Pioneers to number 9. Or is that 8? That's number 8. Sorry, 10. It's now over to 19, Novak. Novak sends it up to Lazar into the middle. He's working the middle of the field. Cates tries to, and he does spin him off the ball. And the Cougars, and it's chipped out of bounds to the Pioneers. And Turk will throw it in for the Pioneers. Sends it to Turek. Turek back to Turk. Turk over to Tan. Tan up to Mernano. Tries to feed it up to Novak. Novak does get it. He's working down the left side into the middle. But there's Oscar with this nice save. Feeds it out to Park. Park trying to feed it, but the Pioneers intercepted again. Pioneers are controlling the ball. 27 feeds it up through to 26, but Correa gets it out of trouble momentarily for the Cougars. But the Pioneers still control it. Novak. No. Tall. Nope. Pioneers still have control of the ball. There's Turek again. Weaving in and out to Penna. Penna tries to feed it through. Cates gathers it in for the Cougars. To Rainford. Up to Alvarez. Feeds it back to Rainford. Rainford working the left side for the Cougars. Oh, he's tripped up. That'll be a foul by the Pioneers, and the Cougars will have a free kick. Puts it back in play quickly to Rosada. Rosada feeding it down into the right corner for Sakara. Tries to cross to Tall, but intercepted by the Pioneers. Now onto the foot of Alvarez. Alvarez puts it on goal. Oh, almost goes through the legs of Robinson, but he recovers just in time. Throws a deep ball out to Turek. He gathers it in, has it on his foot, puts it up into the middle to 11. Him and Rosada are fighting for it. Rosada and 11 still battling for it, and Rosada comes away with it. To the middle for, now the Pioneers have it. Still back and forth, and that's a push down by Yang, giving the Pioneers the ball. Number 8, Tan over there for the Pioneers. Got a fast-paced game going on here today, Danny. Tan, high-quality soccer. A lot of high quality out there. Tan puts a deep ball, but Park intercepts, and there's Yang. And a lot of fighting. Nobody can seem to control the ball for longer than three passes. Rainford battling down there with Turek. Rainford gets it out to Rosada. He's battling with, feeds it up to Valencia, who feeds it to Alvarez. Trying this. Oh, he gets around the defender. Still has it. Puts it on goal. But Robinson deflects it just enough to knock it off of the goal and make a save, but it'll set the Cougars up with the corner kick. Alvarez showing his speed, getting around to the defense of the Pioneers on that play and getting a nice attempt on goal. But Robinson for the Pioneers comes up with a big save. I did kill the clock. We good? Start it? Valencia with the corner kick, headed by Correa to Sakara off his foot, but the Pioneers clear it high into the air. Park gathers it in on his foot, sends a deep drive just over the goal, and it'll give the Pioneers a goal kick. Robinson will put it back in play for the Pioneers. I guess I didn't know that. Pioneers trying to control the ball. Sakara putting pressure on for the Cougars. Him and Yang, and Sakara does get it back for the Cougars. Trying to feather through two defenders. Novak over there working them out of bounds and gets the ball back for the Pioneers. Sends it up to 27 to 11. A little bit of a collision. Comes back to midfield for Correa, who's going to send it back to Oscar, Cougar goalie. Oscar's going to play it off of his foot. He's going to gather it in for a little bit, take a little survey the scene, take a little time. Oscar sends a deep ball looking for Tall. Tall box out the guy's guy. Then Rosado sends a deep high ball. Pena for, that was a nice little feed pass by Tan. A little bit of a collision. And who are we giving it to? Pioneers will have a throw in. 17 for the Pioneers. Sunfield had a nice play over there. Sends it down in the corner, and there's Pena for the Pioneers. Worked it into the corner. It went off of Correa, setting the Pioneers up with a corner kick. Pena for the Pioneers had checked out. Looks like he got a little something in his nose. Maybe he had a bloody nose there. And looks like, who's that, 19? Looks like Novak's going to take the corner kick for the Pioneers. Novak sends it in play, sent back out by Yang, out of bounds, and now Pioneers will have a throw in. Good play by Yang to get it out of trouble. Pioneers sends another, onto the goal, and there's Oscar to fight through and make a nice diving save to get the ball out of bounds, going to the Cougars on a goal kick. Oscar's going to put it in play to Mr. Yates down there. Looks like Yates is playing center back today. He's usually out on the wing, out on the side, huh? But he's moved into the center, and looks like they moved Yang up into the midfield, huh?
No, they're playing three fullbacks.
Playing three fullback. Okay, so it's a different defensive lineman. I got you. Yang has it, feeds it up to Rosada. Rosada working through the middle, tries to feather it past to Valencia, but picked off by the Pioneers. Pioneers still bringing it up, trying to feed it through, but there's Yang in the middle. Him and Pena fighting for the ball. Pena, nope. Yang gets it back to Yates. Over to Correa. Correa brings it over to Rainford. Rainford has it off of his foot, sends it bad feed, but Correa is able to gather it in, and there's Yates to send it up the other side. Picked off again by the Pioneers. Pena has it on his foot. Gets around Correa. Makes a move, but there's Rainford to help on the recovery. He'll kick back for the Pioneers to 17. Sunfield. Sunfield back to midfield, and that is 20-10 over to stolen by Tall. Tall feeds it back to Park. Park sends a deep drive for Alvarez, but there's Robinson to gather it in for the Pioneers. Sends it over to number 10, Mormino, over to Novak, up to 27. Lazares, Sebastian Lazares, 27. Novak sends it back to Mormino. Number 11, Pirik, tried to get him the ball, but there's Oscar back there. Sends it over to Yates. Yates sends it back to Oscar. Pioneers putting pressure on, not letting the Cougars get the free breaks. Cougars like to play that stretch and run game. You know, they like to have the space. Pena battling with Alvarez. Alvarez dances through traffic, gets it to Rosada. Rosada trying to weave through traffic, but Pioneers intercept. Bringing it back. Lazar trying to feed a long pass to 27, Sebastian. But Oscar's there. Feeds it up to Yang. Yang dances around the Pioneer defender. Tries to send it up, but it's banged off the Pioneers. And then they play it back, still playing it back to their goalie. Robinson sends it up. High ball into midfield. Looking for Pena to Perrick. But Yang and Perrick battling for it over there with Sakara, and Sakara comes away with it. Sends it deep, across the field. Alvarez looking to run it down. Does get to it. Santiago Valencia has it now on his foot. Makes a move, trying to get around. Sends it back for Rainford. Feeding it back to Valencia. Sends it in the corner for Alvarez. Sends a centering pass, but it's deflected out by the Pioneers. Park has it now for the Cougars. Sends a drive on goal. Stopped by Robinson. Sends a high punt out to midfield for the Pioneers, but gathered in by the Cougars. And here Yates has it, sends it to Correa. Correa back into the middle for Valencia. Valencia still working around, trying to get around Yan. He does. Up to Rosado. Rosado, but Yan intercepts to Pena, over to Lazar. Lazar has it on his foot, trying to work around, but misfired, and Tall will have it on his foot. Cougars trying to send a pass in. Oh, and there's Robinson. Gets out and makes a stop on that scoring chance. Valencia tried to feed it through the two defenders of the Pioneers, but Robinson was there to clean it up. Again, Park intercepts it for the Cougars. Sakara has it, sends it back to Park. Park sends a deep, high ball, and it'll go out of bounds through the end line, giving the Pioneers a goal kick. Robinson for the Pioneers puts it back into play to Tan. Tan back to Robinson. Over to Mormino. Sends it up to 27. Over to 26, Lazar. Back to Yan. Over to Novak. Now it's back to Pioneers doing a nice job of playing keep away. 26, Lazar breaking the middle of the field, trying to get around Correa, but not able to do so. And Oscar sends it back up to Valencia, breaks midfield, trying to feed it to Alvarez. Alvarez gets around the defender, but he's called offside. Alvarez called offsides. Pioneers, Turk puts it. Turk of the Pioneers puts it back in play to Tan. Tan over to Mermino. Sends it up to Pena. Pena tries to get it to Persic, but it's intercepted by the Cougars. But now it's back to the Pioneers, and looks like Valencia is going to get a foul there, giving the Pioneers a free kick. Turk for the Pioneers will put it back in play. Gives it over to Tan. Tan sends a deep ball. Looking for 27 in the deep corner. Feeds it back out to Pena. 27 went down. Yang over there defending. But the Pioneers will have a throw in. Timeout on the field for an injured Pioneer player. Clock is stopped. 19:04 remaining in the first half. Score is still tied 0-0. Looks like WRA Williams is getting ready to check in for the Cougars. Cam Hernandez down there warming up. Looks like he'll be getting ready to check in here in a few minutes also. training staff out there taking a look at the young man for the Pioneers who's down on the field. Didn't really get a number on. I think that was number 27 over there. Sebastian Lazares. And he is up. He is up. Looks like he's hobbling a little bit. Look, gonna try to walk it off. Walking it off. We got it. No, don't start the clock yet. That's all right. Don't start it yet, Wesley. That's okay, Wesley. I'm not gonna be upset with you. Oh, he was bringing in the sub, Wesley. What bringing in the sub, and we're not bringing it from substitution. Oh, did you just hear that, Danny? Wesley just volunteered to go get a Subway. No. Here we go. Pioneers put it back in play. Yan has it. Sends it back to, and here's the sub. Just came in, number 7. They tried to feed it to him right away, huh? Trying to get Mr. Estevez, Tomas Estevez, trying to get him involved in the play right away. Correa for the Cougars has it. Sends it over to Yates. Yates working it up. Sends it in the middle to Tall. Back to Yang. Yang bringing it up to midfield. Sends a deep ball. Trying to hit Tall on a runner. But there's Robinson for the Pioneers. Sends it out to Sunfield, but intercepted and deflected out of bounds by Rainford. Ravon, nice job for the Cougars there. Turk throws it in for the Pioneers. Tan has it. Surveys the scene, sends it back to Robinson. Ooh, Tall putting the pressure on. Wasn't able to get there in time. Who's that? Number 10 over there. Mermino sends it to Novak. Novak tries to feed it up to number 7, Estevez, but it goes out of bounds. Cougars will have a throw in. Looks like Park taking a throw in. Williams, Jere Williams checking in for the Cougars. And looks like Mateo Sakara is coming out. Park sends it into Yang. Yang feeds it up through to Williams, but it goes off his foot, and the Pioneers will have it. Novak throws it in. And now it goes off of the. Oh, it's going to give it back to the Pioneers for another throw in. Novak again trying to throw it in, and he's trying to feed it. No, he feeds it up to Pierrick. Pierrick has it go off his head. Now the Cougars are fighting for it. Valencia has it stolen off of his foot by Yan, but Yang gets it back for the Cougars over to Park. Park sends a deep ball, looking for Tall on the run. No. Back to Robinson. Tall still putting pressure on it, but it's back to midfield, and Correa is going to let it come back and feeds it back to Oscar. Oscar back over to Correa, and now he's just going to work it up the field, surveying the scene, looking to feed it up through to Alvarez. He does. Feeds a runner to. Oh, they're calling Valencia offside. Turk going to put it back in play for the Pioneers over to Yan. No, they put it back in play too quickly. I don't know. I'm not sure what they were doing here. Okay, I guess there, Turk gives it to Yan. Yan working it up. Sends a long ball. He's trying to go deep, but Correa heads it back to midfield. Pana for the Pioneers sends it deep out of bounds through the end line, giving the Cougars a goal kick. Oscar will set up for a goal kick, and Cam Hernandez checks into the game for Santiago Valencia. Ball over there on the left side for the Pioneers, trying to feed it down into the corner. Yates and Estevez fight for it. Looks like it's going to go off of Estevez through the end line, giving the Cougars a goal kick. Oscar sends it out to Yang. Yang gives it to Correa. Correa over to Yates. Yates has it on his foot. Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. We had a little bit of issues with the tripod and the camera here. Sorry about the technical difficulties on the vision for the game. Looks like Mormino for the Pioneers is going to put it back in play. Sends a deep ball across field for 17, Sunfield. Sunfield gathers it in, sends it out of bounds, and Oscar will have a goal kick for the Cougars. Sends it in play to Yates. Yates sends it up to WRA Williams. WRA Williams working. Looks like they're going to give it back to the Cougars. Oh, we had to change the tripod. That's what it was, huh? We got it all fixed up, Danny. Good work, Braden and Danny. Braden and Danny fixing up the tripod. Danny Lee, Braden McNally, my two guys up here always in the booth. Park sends it into the middle to Hernandez. Hernandez over to Correa. Correa sends it back to Oscar. Oscar over to Yates. Yates gathers it in, sends it back to Oscar. Oscar surveying the scene, sends it over to Yates. Yates runs it up, looking to approach midfield, but still sends it. No, he sends it back to Oscar in the goal box. Now over to Correa. Correa working it over. It's going to send it over to Yates into the middle. Pioneers are just packing it in, not letting the Cougars get their running game going. Now it's over to Park. Park to Yates. Yates back to Oscar. Oscar sends it to Correa. Correa up to Hernandez into the middle to Yang. Yang sends a deep ball to Dre Williams. Tries to gather it. Oh, called him out of bounds. I don't know. Looked like he think he had it in. You think he kept it in the whole time? Wesley thought he had it in. But they gave it to him anyways. And so Novak for the Pioneers is going to throw it into Pena. Pena battling for it with Rosado and Yates, and he still has it. Tries to feather it up through to number 6, Turek, but just too far, and Oscar sends it back out of bounds. Novak will throw in for the Pioneers. We have a timeout on the field. Looks like a Pioneer is hurt. They didn't signal to stop the clock. I don't know. Well, they did signal to stop the clock. They did signal to stop the clock. I don't know. I didn't see it, but Wesley, you're on it. You saw it, so you're good. Now they start it again, and then Novak throws it deep to Turek. Turek can't control it, and the Cougars gathered it in. Yates working that sideline, but it's out of bounds, setting up the Pioneers with another throw-in. Working the ball down the field. Novak will throw it in. Feeds it into the middle to Lazar, 26 of the Pioneers, but it's stolen by Hernandez. Tries to feed it up into the middle, but overshoots Alvarez and gathered back in. Turk of the Pioneers feeds it into the box. Headed by Estevez, but through the end line, and the Cougars will have a goal kick. We have some substitutions. Javi Busta. Javier Bustos. Is that it? Wesley. Javier Bustos, number 5 for the Cougars, checks in. Looks like Jorge, George checked out. 23. Oliver Ray checks in for the Pioneers. Bustos has it. Sends a high, deep ball for Dre Williams. Making a run down the right side, but stripped by Novak. Novak bringing it back for the Pioneers. Tries to feed it into the middle, but there's Yates for the Cougars. Hernandez now has it. Over to Park. Park feeds it through, tries to feed it through to Tall. Too far, and Robinson of the Pioneers will have it. Rolls it over to 20-10 to 13 Turk. Turk back to 10. 10. Sends it across the field to Williams steals it to Hernandez. Hernandez too tall. Oh, and the Pioneers clear it. No, still to Yang. Yang and the Pioneers. Pana sends a high ball to keep it from being any more trouble. And Rainford now gets it for the Cougars. Being battled by Sunfield. Alvarez dances around. Sends a crossing pass for Tall, but intercepted by the Pioneers. 26, Lazar for the Pioneers, trying to get around Williams. Williams puts the check on him, and there's Hernandez still putting pressure on for the Cougars. Pioneers get it into the middle for Pena. Works it up to Sunfield, across midfield. Rainford on the defense for the Cougars. Battling on the sideline. The Pioneers will have a throw in. Sunfield is going to drop it, and Turk will have the throw in. Turk still has it. Still looking. Throws it into Sunfield. Back to Turk. But kicks it out of bounds. Trying to go back to Sunfield. Out of bounds. Rainford will put it in for the Cougars. Throws it deep for Tall. Headed into the air for Alvarez. Alvarez can't gather it in. But Tall does get it. Nope. Ray for the Pioneers sends it back to Tan. Over across to Novak. Novak is pressured by Williams, has it go off his foot. Novak will throw it in for the Pioneers up to Turek. Tries to feed it through to Estevez, but Park has it go off of his foot high into the air. Bunch of people battling for it over there on that far side. Nice heel kick by Estevez back, but Yates sends it deep. Now it's back to Sunfield of the Pioneers. Tries to send it through to Pena. Gets almost through, still battling. Oh, they're calling it. They're calling it. Is this a penalty kick? This will be a penalty kick coming up for the Pioneers. They called a foul in the penalty box. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. We have a stoppage in play at 7:48 left in the first half, and the Pioneers will be setting up for a penalty kick. Danny didn't like the call, but they called it, so they're going to get one. Oh, he didn't use it. Use the body. Danny said he used the body and not the hand. The ref is saying he used the hand and not the body. Looks like Estevez is up, walking off the field. And it looks like Pena will have a penalty kick for the Pioneers. And Oscar will be in goal. Let's see. Last week, couple weeks ago, we had a penalty kick up there at Western Reserve against Sure. So here we go. Penalty kick for the Pioneers. And it looks like Pena will be taking a penalty kick for the Pioneers. Oscar's in the goal. Here we go. Oscar with the big save. Big save by Oscar. And it goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Pioneers. Sunfield will throw it in. Rainford gets it out of trouble. Sends it up. Tall. Trying to get a little bit of a run for the but Pioneers have it back. Ray gets it back for the Pioneers. Over to Sunfield. Sunfield to the middle of the field. Clock.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Spectacular goal. Oh, spectacular save.
We got so excited up here, and Wesley forgot to start the clock. But the Pioneers have the ball. Sends it back to midfield. Now it's back. Looks like Yang for the Cougars are going to feed it up to Williams. Williams looking to cross into the middle off of a Pioneer's foot. Hernandez now has it to Tall. Tall into the middle off the crossbar. No goal signal to Alvarez. Sought by Robinson. Tall still has it, battling for it. It'll be a goal kick. A corner kick now. It'll be a corner kick for the Cougars. A lot of action going on down there. Hernandez with the corner kick sends it into the middle. Headed by Rainford. Up out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick now for the Pioneers. Pioneers will put it in play. Robinson over to Tan. Tan up into the middle for 26 Lazar. Turek, number 6, back to 26 Lazar. Pioneers send a deep ball looking for Sunfield. To Penna. Penna back to Sunfield. Feeds it through. Still fed out over the end line. And it will set up a corner kick for the Pioneers. Had a lot of action here in the past 2 minutes, folks. Penalty kick stopped, big stop by Oscar on the penalty kick for the Pioneers. And then the Cougars had quite a few scoring chances of their own down at the other end. Now the Pioneers will have a corner kick. Sends it in high, and there's Oscar to make another nice save for the Cougars. Brings it out, feeds it up to Williams, but it's out of bounds. Off of Sunfield of the Pioneers, setting up the Cougars with a throw-in. Turek battling with Williams on the far side. They're going to give it to the Cougars for a throw-in. Throw into Tall. Tall feeds it to Williams. Running down into the middle. Tries to feed it through, and they're going to call Alvarez offside. They're calling Alvarez offside. Nice feed from Williams. Just a little offside by Alvarez here. And it'll be Mormino sending it up to Novak. Novak feeding it down into the corner. Penna trying to run it down for the Pioneers, and he gets there, but Correa gets there for the Cougars to defend and gets it for the Cougars. Up to Yang. Yang over to Hernandez. Hernandez feeds a long ball, trying to get to Alvarez. Turk for the Pioneers to defend, but Alvarez battles for it and gets it. Works around a couple, but can't beat all 3 of them. Novak for the Pioneers now. Works it up around Williams, but up. Still off. Through, and there's a goal.
There was an offside beforehand. It does not count.
Stop the clock. Looks like they're giving a goal to the Pioneers. Number 11, Luca Peric. Luca Peric. We're going to have a conversation here. We're not sure. I mean, he did have offside signaled at first, but I'm not sure what they're going to do. They're going to give the goal to the Pioneers. Number 11, Luca Peric. Luca Peric will have the goal for the Pioneers.
You should probably do it. I was just doing this.
Cougars put the ball back in play. Correa over to Rainford. Rainford tries the middle for Yang, intercepted by the Pioneers. Ray up to Turek, feeds it to Pena in the middle again. Yates saved by Oscar, and then Yates clears it out. Pioneers putting a lot of pressure on the Cougars. Hold on the Cougars, giving the ball back to the Pioneers. Pioneers will have a free kick from about 30 meters out here. Pena will be taking the free kick for the Pioneers. Thank you. Pena takes the free kick. Oscar makes the save. Oh, ran into by 23 of the Pioneers. Oscar sends a punt out to over midfield, headed up into the air by the Pioneer. Hernandez and Lazar of the Pioneers battling for it. Pioneers come away with it. Feeds it up out of bounds. Rainford will have a throw in for the Cougars. Throws it in for Tall. Tall sends it back. It's out of bounds. And the Pioneers will have a throw in. Turk for the Pioneers will have the throw in. Sends it headed out by Correa. Pioneers will have another throw in. Turk will throw in again. Trying to go deep for Pena. Cleaned up by Correa. Yates for the Cougars. Sends it over to Park. Park going back for Yates. Pressured by Perrick. Tries to send it up to Rainford, but out of bounds. Pioneers put it back in play quickly. Pena tries to feed Sunfield down into the corner on a give and go, but it wasn't there. Rainford throw in for the Cougars. That's the end of the first half with the score Western Reserve 1 and Kiski Cougars 0. Wait until I believe you got to wait until the ref signals for you to start it. We'll have a 10-minute halftime. Go ahead out and get yourself some refreshments. Come on back for the second half. Welcome back to Donald H. Jones Stadium here on the Kiski campus. Wesley and Danny are. What are you arguing about? What are you arguing about, Wesley and Danny?
Nah, I said whatever you say to me, I'm just gonna say it back.
Oh, he's just
He's
Wesley's.
kind of ignoring me.
Wesley's just going to agree. He's just going to be in agreement with Danny for the rest of the afternoon.
More like ignoring.
Oh, as a way of ignoring.
Okay.
Still, are you still under the SAT stress of
Yes.
still under
Arguing.
still under the stress of having to take SAT this morning? Danny, you didn't do the SAT this morning. You've
He's full of energy.
well, you didn't do it this morning though. You've done it before.
I slept. I slept.
You slept this morning.
Yeah. I slept in this morning.
Yeah. But you've done the SAT before and you're like,
I'm good.
I'm good with it.
I'm good.
I'm good with it. I got what I need to get. I'm good with it. Good with it. Okay. All right. Braden, what about you? You SAT in it yet?
No, I took the PSAT.
Took the PSAT. All right. All right. All right. I
Yeah, you're pushing it a little bit too much.
we got the start of winter sports coming up this week, right? This week starts.
I think I'm still on the soccer team.
Well, you're still on the soccer team, Wesley, because you're still playing this week, right? Braden, you wrestling again this year. Braden's wrestling. All right, Braden. Braden's wrestling this year. Danny's going to be doing live streaming with the basketball and stuff, helping us do live stream basketball. We got swimming. Swimming starts Monday too, huh? Basketball's out and basketball's out at a tournament today. They're a little preseason tournament up in Newcastle. They're playing. Yeah, they got I think 3 games or so up there today. They took 3 vanfuls, like 27 basketball guys. A lot of basketball guys, huh? Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of the basketball guys are usually ball boys for the soccer games. That's why they're not here today. Because Darwin likes to help out, and Lauren and Francis likes to help out. Who? He blends in. He blends in. Mateo. 45-minute halves. Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna get back to work. Danny's Danny's giving the orders to get back to work. Wesley, you on it? All right. We got old Juju's down there taking pictures today. Juju, get your camera. Get your camera, Juju. Get them pictures taken.
Oh yeah, he needs the battery.
Oh, he needs his battery. This. Oh, he needs his battery to take the pictures.
Good catch.
No, no, don't throw it. Don't throw it. Don't throw it. All right.
Brayden, Brayden, look at Mateus. Mateus. He's sad. What the heck is he doing?
Hey, hey, pull. Hey, 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 Wesley. Tell him to pull up his damn. Cougars put the ball back in play. Park back to Yates. Yates sends it over to Correa. Correa to Rainford. Rainford into the middle for Yang, but there's the Pioneers to get it. 26 of the Pioneers feeds it up to Pena. Pena dancing around Rainford and Correa. Sends a shot wide and high and wide through the end line. Oscar puts it back in play to Correa. Correa working it up the field. Still has it. Works it into the middle to Alvarez. Takes a little bit of a shove into the back and then goes across the field trying to hit Sakara on a runner. Runner down into the right corner. Feeds a crossing pass into the middle for Tall, but cleaned out by the Pioneers. Out of bounds on the side. It'll set up a throw in, or they giving a throw in or a corner kick? Throw in by Park. Thought it went out on the side. It did. Park with the throw in. Gets it into George. George over to Sakara. Back to George. Then it goes out of bounds. Now this will be a corner kick. Valencia setting up down in the corner. Let's see what we can get out of this here. Valencia has the ball set up. Sun is shining. Sun's out, Danny. Sends it into the middle. Headed out by the Pioneers. And then further out by Sunfield of the Pioneers. Cates gathers it in for the Cougars. Over to Park. Park sends it back down into the far corner for Valencia. Crosses it into the middle. Off of the Pioneers. Turk out of bounds, giving the Cougars a corner kick from the far side now. Valencia runs over to the other side. He'll take the kick. Sends it into the middle, but again deflected. Oh, Rainford had it cut off of his foot. Gathered in by Yang. Yang feeds it into space to Park. Park sets it up. Back into the middle. Headed out by the Pioneers. Alvarez to Yang. Yang into the corner. Crosses it into the middle. Over the goal by Tall. Tall had a nice opportunity just over the head of Robinson. Over the crossbar, out of bounds. Robinson sends it back in play. Looks like Tan over there. Tan over to Romano. Up to Novak, but out of bounds. Sakara did a nice job of putting the pressure on, forcing an error. Park throws it into Tall. Crossing pass into the middle, but there's the Pioneers to intercept. Persick sends a long ball for a runner. There's Sunfield trying to run down. Gets around Rainford into the middle. Nice save by Oscar. And Rainford sends it up out. Santiago throws it in for Alvarez. Then he sends it long. But there's Robinson to clear it out for the Pioneers. Up to Turek. Turek dances around looking for Perrick. 26 back to Turek. Novak has it to Yan. Yan back at midfield sends it across the way to Sunfield, but it's out of bounds. Alvarez puts it back in play for the Cougars. Up to Sakara. Perrick feeds it over to Turek. Splits the defense. No. Defended by Correa. Out of bounds. Thrown in by the Pioneers. Penna has it now. Still working. Looking to get through traffic. Park defends. No. Perrick has it. Defended by Yang and Park. Sakara now has it. Feeds it into the middle, but Yan of the Pioneers takes it. Over to 26, Lazar. Still has it. Working up. Feeds it into the corner for Penna. Penna tries to cross it into the middle. Does. Persick. No. Correa gets it out of trouble for the Cougars. Up to midfield. But now the Pioneers have it. Novak feeds it back to Yan. Yan goes into the middle. But there's Rainford to clear it out of trouble momentarily for the Cougars. Valencia being pushed off the ball by Penna. Or was that Turek? Turek. Yan now has it. Turek into the middle. Up to Turk. Stolen by Rainford. Out of bounds. Off of the Pioneers. And the Cougars will have a throw in on the far side. Rainford throws it into Alvarez. Over to Rainford. Back to Yang. Yang. Now it's into the middle for Sakura. Feeds it the feather and pass to Rosado. Up to Park. Running down the right side. Crossing pass.
Oh, mamma mia!
Tall. There's a goal! Santiago Valencia scores for the Cougars to tie the game 1-1. Nice play by the Cougars.
Number 23, Santiago Valencia.
Nice play by Park to run it down into the corner, get it into the middle. Off a Tall. Tall back to Valencia, and Valencia puts it home for the Cougars to tie the game at 1. Pioneers put it back in play. 26 Lazar heads back. Now the Cougars have it back. Valencia, the goal scorer, has it on his foot. Back to Park. Park sends it back to Yates. Yates over to Correa. Correa gathers it in. Still has it. Looking for a long ball for Tall. Running it down. Sends it high over the goal. Giving the Pioneers a goal kick. Cougars got some much needed momentum swung back in their direction. Off of Park's head, out of bounds. Pioneers bringing it back. Lazard feeds it. Oh, Penna had a nice run down the middle, but they're going to call him offsides. Penna had a nice, well, he split that defense nice there. He's just a little offsides, huh? Is that, they called him offsides, right?
Yeah, they call him offside.
Yeah.
He moved into the
Okay. That was a nice looking play. Alvarez feeds it into the middle, but Lazar of the Pioneers now has it. Penna gets, I tell you what, Penna for being, him and Valencia going at it. Look at those two little guys going at it. Penna and we got some, we're going to go with Cougar ball. Penna is on the ground. Penna and Valencia were really battling, and those two guys aren't very big, but boy, were they going at it, huh? It's getting a little nippy out there, huh? A little nippy out there. Those two boys were really battling for the ball. Cougars are going to come away with the ball. Penna went down. Let's settle things down. Valencia and Penna were really showing some fight. Yates puts it back, or Cates puts it back in play for the Cougars, headed deep down in. Now Yan for the Pioneers. Stolen away from him by Rosada. Feeds it into the far corner for Alvarez. Alvarez runs it down. Keeps it in. Gets around the defense. Sends it into the middle. Just out of the reach of Sakara, and it'll be a goal kick. No, they're giving a throw in. They must have called him out of bounds over on that far side, huh? They must have called him out of bounds over there. Throw in for the Pioneers. Throws it up, but kicked out by Valencia. Pioneers will have another throw in. Looks like Turk over there will be throwing it in. 13 for the, sends it to Perrick. Perrick trying to get around Valencia. Slide tackle, but no. Ball was out. Giving it back to the Pioneers. So it'll be Penna for the Pioneers. Will put it in play. We'll have a free kick from just over the midfield line. Sends a deep ball into the middle. Oscar will gather it in for the Cougars. Surveying the scene, taking his time, sends it over to Dimitri Cates. Sends a high ball. Gathered in by Novak. Novak, 26, Lazar over to Turek. Back to Novak. Novak trying to feed Perrick, but Dimitri Cates had it out of bounds for the Cougars. Thrown in back in Ooh, Perrick tries to put a shot on. He did put a shot on goal.
Man. Hey.
Valencia trying to work around the Pioneers. Yang does send it deep.
Punish him.
Tall
No,
keeps it in bounds into the far corner. He has it.
Help him.
Tall feeds it into the middle for Rosado. Tries to feed it to Valencia. Gets it to Alvarez. Off of the Pioneers. Did put a shot on goal, but it went off the Pioneers. Pena now to Lazar, 26 of the Pioneers. Pushed off the ball by Yang. Still in open space. Rainford runs it down for the Cougars. Kicked out of bounds by Turk of the Pioneers. Ball be thrown in by the Cougars. Looks like Alvarez over there set for no. He hands it off to Rainford. Rainford will throw it into Alvarez. Alvarez will set up, sends it into the middle of Sakara. Sakara working, sends it back to Cates. Cates sends it down into the corner for Park. Park can't run it down. Pioneers with a throw in. Novak will have it. Sends it in. Mormino sends it deep and out of bounds, and now the Cougars will have a throw in. Cates, no, he hands it off for Park to throw in. Park throws it deep for Tall, but headed back by Novak. Turek for the Pioneers sends it deep out of the reach of Sunfield, out of bounds, and the Cougars will have a throw in. Rainford on the far side throws it in. Looking for Alvarez, but headed back by the Pioneers into the middle for Lazard. There's Perrick. Pena fighting with Yang. Rainford gets it, and there's Valencia up to Tall. Tall tried to feed it back for Alvarez, but there was Rosado to clean it up. Tried to feed it up for Valencia, but it went out of bounds. Pioneers throw it in. Tan sends it into the middle for Perrick. Perrick to Pena. Pena gets around some defenders. Tries to split the middle, but Oscar sends it back to Cates. Cates to Yang. Yang has it into the middle for Rosada to Sakara. Tries to feed it through to Tall, but there's Robinson, goalie of the Pioneers, to send it deep out of bounds. Cougars will have a throw in by Rainford on the far side. Sends it into Alvarez. Alvarez gathers it back to Rainford. Over to Yang. Yang up to Valencia. Tries to get it into the middle, but picked off by the Pioneers. Sends it up the far side, and Rainford's there for the Cougars. Still battling for it. Sends it down into his end, but there is number 20, Tan, to send it high and deep for the Pioneers. And Correa will send it back to Oscar, who sends a deep pass to midfield for Rosado. Heads it up, trying for Valencia. No. Back to Robinson of the Pioneers. Sakara looks like he's going to gather it in. Pioneers and Cougars just battling for it at midfield. Finally, Yan gathers it to Novak. Novak back to Yan. Yan up to Perrick. There's Cates. Sends it back to Oscar in goal. Oscar will send it up to Correa. Misplaces it a little bit, but gathers it in enough to send it into the middle. And there's Correa. And Rainford sends it high and deep. Tall running for it. Still has it. Sakara to Valencia. Nope. Cleared out by Turk of the Pioneers. And the Cougars will have a throw in. Number five, Shane Larrabee for the Pioneers checks in. 26, Lazar checks out. Park will throw in for the Cougars. Sends it up to Rosada. To Valencia, sends it high and out the end line. Way deep. Setting the Pioneers up with a goal kick. Robinson for the Pioneers. puts it in play over to Tan. Tan to Turk. Turk working up the right side. There's Penna. Back to Tan. Robinson sends a high ball headed by Rosado of the Cougars. Still loose ball. Now Turek, but there's Park of the Cougars. Brings it in, sends it back to midfield for Correa. Correa over to Park. Park up to Valencia. Valencia sends it into the middle for Sakara. Weaves around a couple Pioneers to Yang. Yang over to Rainford. Rainford trying to come back into the middle. Feeds us pass, but headed out by Novak. Sakara battling with Turek. Still on. Oh, Sakara had it just go off his foot through the end line. And the Pioneers will have a goal kick. Robinson will put it back in play for the Pioneers. Sends it over to. Now it's up to Novak. Novak feeds it up the side to Turek. Turns around. Park. Tries to get through traffic, but Rosado picks it off to Valencia. Back to Rosado. Feeds it over to the corner for Alvarez. Alvarez back to Valencia. Nope. Stripped of the ball by Pena, who sends a deep drive for Pierrick. Correa runs it down for the Cougars, sends it back on the goal to Kate. Back to the goalie. Over to Correa. Correa working it up the field. Gets it over to Rainford. Rainford to midfield for Alvarez. Tries to feed it back to Rainford, but out of bounds. Pioneers will have a throw in. Looks like Turk of the Pioneers will take the throw in. We're running down on 28 minutes left in the game. Turk has it. There's Tall. Intercepts. Nope. Back to Tan to the middle for Pena to Yan. Over to Novak. Novak sends it high and deep. Headed down by Rainford. Gathered in by the Pioneers. Pena has it on his foot. Looked like he was going to take a long drive. Back into the middle for Pena. Stopped by the Cougars defense. And Valencia gets it out of trouble further. Feeds it into space for Rainford. Rainford sends a deep, long ball back out of trouble into the goal area for the Pioneers. Brought in by Robinson. Robinson's just going to handle it a little bit. Survey the scene and calm everything down. Feeds it over to Mermino. Sends it back up. Park has it go off of his foot. But back to the keeper, Oscar. Larrabee putting pressure on for the Pioneers. Correa feeds it up to Valencia. Midfield. Feathers a pass for Alvarez. Alvarez, Mr. Robinson. In the right place at the right time. Stole it right off of Alvarez's foot. Good play by the goalie of the Pioneers over there. Tell you what, goalie of the Pioneers had a nice game, huh, Danny?
Yeah, he's played well.
Played well.
Yeah.
Yep.
He knows when to move out.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job of understanding when to go get the ball and stay back in his goal. He's doing a nice job over there. Alvarez back to Rayvon Rainford. Sends it back to Correa. Correa over to Cates. Cates sends it up to Hernandez. Hernandez sends a deep drive. Looking for Tall into the middle, but picked off by the Pioneers. Yan looking for a runner. Pierrick outran by Cates, and Cates just kicks it out of bounds to stop play and give the Pioneers a throw in. Looks like Yan's coming down. No, he's going to hand it off to Novak. Novak will throw it in. Looks like number 21, Sullivan. Is it Buck? Buck into the game. Oh, just wide of goal. The Pioneers had a nice chance there. It just went wide. The Cougars will set it back in play. Correa bringing it up the field. Sends a deep pass. Tall trying to run it down. But there's Robinson again, being a headsy goalie. Comes out. Rolls it over to Mermino. Mermino looking to bring it up the field. Sends it over to Novak. Novak feeds it up. Ooh, Larrabee. Looked like it went off his hand. Looked like it went off his hand.
Yes.
It did. They called it. They called a handball there. Okay.
I think they just called it out.
Well, they called it out, but it did go. Did you see it? Went off his arm. Went off his arm. Park throws it deep for Tall. Tall gathers it in. Gets around the defender, but not enough. Couldn't control the ball. And Robinson gathers it in for the Pioneers. Throws it up. Sunfield trying to get around Rainford. Pulled down. Rainford did a nice job of,
Putting pressure on.
yeah, you know what I mean? He was getting beat, so you might as well take a foul there, right? You might as well, right? No,
Not good, but
no. Well, it's not good.
might as well take a foul than a goal.
Instead of having a breakaway and set, you know what I mean, just take that scoring chance away and just pull him down. Take the foul out there, let him have that free kick. He's at midfield. Yan, deep drive into the goal box. Ooh, headed up, still headed. Larrabee, but gathered in by Oscar. Oscar's going to take his time. 24 minutes and counting, folks. 24 minutes counting. Oscar rolls it out to Cates. Cates feeds it up into the middle to Valencia. But there's Ray for the Pioneers to get it back. Sends it back to Tan. Tan feeds it down into the middle. Cates bounces off of Cates to Correa. Correa up to Park. Park to Valencia. He's battling with Yan. Still battling with Yan. A little bit too aggressive by Mr. Yan. Hernandez puts it back in play. Valencia sends it deep. With an A call on Rosado offsides. I don't know much about the rules, but it looked like to me. I don't know, Danny. Looked like he was offsides to me. I don't. Yeah. Oh, okay. But because he touched it, he was offside. Okay. I see. Okay. So Yan for the Pioneers, working it up, trying to get it to midfield, sends it back to Mermino, who sends it up, and Rainford sends a high ball into the middle. There's Tan. Cougars going to run it down. Yang gets tripped up. Ooh, they're not. Yang is down. He's getting up. He's going to get up. Yang's tough character. I like him, Yang. Hernandez put it. Hernandez looked like he was he was ready to go, Mama Hernandez. He was ready to go. He didn't want to wait. He was ready to go.
That was legal. That's what's
He wants to give the hands. He was ready to go.
on a set piece here.
All right. Let's go. Beckham sent it in from 30 yards out. Cam Hernandez. Let's see what he's got. He's sending a deep drive. Let's see. Free kick for Hernandez. He has a foot on him. Nice feed into the middle, headed out by the Pioneers, but Alvarez for the Cougars gathers it in, being pressured by Larrabee. But Alvarez gets around some defender. Oh, hits the outside of the goal. Alvarez did a nice job of getting around a bunch of Pioneer defenders over there, but the ball went on the outside of the goal. Robinson will put it back in play for the Pioneers, and we're down coming close to 21 left in the game. Tan sends it up to, I think that's Novak over there. He switched sides on me. Number 10, Mermino. Into the middle, Yan. Back to Mermino. We got 16 in the game for the Pioneers. Ben Baker, new guy into the game. Sends a long ball for Sunfield, being pressured by Ravon Rainford and stripped by Rainford. Sends it back into midfield for Alvarez. Alvarez tries to feed it into space, and it's just going to roll down. Rosado running for it. Kicked out of bounds by Mermino of the Pioneers, and the Cougars will have a throw-in. Looks like Hernandez is getting set up. He'll throw it into the corner for Rosado. He'll run it down. No! Nice! Clearance by the Pioneers, but that's a crossing pass, not a centering pass. Centering pass for hockey, crossing pass for for soccer, right? Danny taught me that last time. I was calling them centering passes, and he corrected me. But we're going to have a corner kick for the Cougars, and Valencia is going to take it. Little long, Rainford off his head, cleared out by the Pioneers. Pierrick, he's a strong guy, Pierrick. He has a nice big body on him. Pioneers on a run, got a nice run down this left side by 21 of the Pioneers. Park fights him off the ball, sends it back to the goalie of the Cougars, rolls it out to Alvarez. Alvarez will gather it in, turn around, survey the scene, and send a long ball looking for Valencia. But there's Robinson of the Pioneers to gather it in. We got a whistle stopping the clock. I don't have to say pass after I say cross. I could just say it's a cross. I don't have to say pass. Oh, man, I'm getting corrected left and right up here today. Okay, so I don't have to say pass. It's just a cross. It's just a cross. It's not. But it is a pass also, right? Technically, it's a pass. I'm not wrong by saying pass, am I? I'm putting extra words that I don't need in there, right? But what if it was like a 500-word essay and I needed that extra word? Right? 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 I like throwing in those extra words so that when I'm writing my essays, I have all those words, right? I don't want to think of extra words, right? What? This here? Who, the ref? It means he's ready to go. We're starting. Robinson puts it back in for the Pioneers, and that's Tan over there. Sends it up the right side. Kicked by Correa. Now it's back in, but there's Park. Sends it, clears it out for the Cougars. And it looks like Lazar for the Pioneers will send it back into the box, and Oscar has it for the Cougars. Sends it to Cates. Cates will send it over to Correa. Correa back to Oscar in the goal box. Oscar's just going to have it on his foot for a little bit. Send it to Cates. Cates is going to look like he's sending it back to Oscar, and they're just going to waste a little time here. Again, the Pioneers have been doing a nice job of limiting the Cougars' stretch game that they like to play. Handball called by Danny. You were all over that. Pioneers had a handball, and Danny was all over it. Good eyes, Danny. Rosado will put it in play for the Cougars. Taps it over to Rivon Rainford. Back to Rosada. Over to Alvarez. Alvarez working down the left side. Into the middle. Oh! Rosada tried to get it into the goal, but cleared off of a Pioneer out of bounds. It'll set up the Cougars with a corner kick. And Valencia will be over there on the corner. Oh, look. Hernandez is getting down there right on that. He's going to crowd that goal box. Tall and Rainford over on the far side. See what we got. Ooh. How did
it hit the field goal post.
Oh, it hit the yellow bar.
It's a corner, isn't it?
They didn't.
I think it hit off of our guy into the field goal. No, it hit into the
I don't know. The goalie looked like he bounced it up and hit the football goal bar, and it should have been blown. Tall! Ooh, Valencia tried to feed Tall, but again, Robinson there to make a stop. Robinson's had a nice game for the Pioneers in goal. 26, feeding it up. Pierrick. Ooh, Pierrick almost had it. I tell you what, Pierrick has had a couple nice runs today. He has the goal for the Pioneers. He's a nice big boy. He has a big body, too. Correa feeds it to Alvarez. Back to Correa. Into the Valencia. Valencia to Rosada. Stripped by Yan, but there's Hernandez to clean it up. But gives it back to Larrabee. Larrabee still fighting for the ball. Tall gets it. Still has it. Tries to feed it into space, but they're going to call Rosado offside. They called Rosado offside. Had a little bit of a, I don't know. Danny's saying maybe not. I mean, I don't. He was a bit early. Danny said. Okay, Danny said he was a bit early. I still don't. Understand it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. It's like one of them things. I'm still not 100% sure on the offsides. Mormino sends a deep ball for. Ooh, cleaned up by Cates at the last second. I'll tell you what, Mormino had a nice ball right there for 21 of the Pioneers on a nice run. And Cates just got his foot in just in time to knock it out. But it does give the Pioneers a corner kick. Can't really see that number down there. I'm guessing that's 19 has been taking it, but I don't think it's him. 26, Lazar. Cleared out by Hernandez. Good job, Cam Hernandez. Get it out of trouble for us. Throw in by the Pioneers. Novak will throw it in. Gets it to Yan. Yan back to Novak. Back to Yan. Sends it back to Tan. Tan. Up to Novak. Looking, still has it. Alvarez trying to pressure it. No. Valencia, after Yang strips it, tries to feed it up, but here comes Williams. WRA sends a drive on goal, but Robinson right into his chest makes the save. Fires it out to Laredo. Or Larrabee. I'm sorry, I don't know how I got Laredo out of that. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I get confused. 21 has it on his foot. Yan now being pressured by the Cougars. Brought in by Tan. Tan looking for a deep ball. But Cates clears it out of trouble. Six substitute. Marty's coming in. Okay, Marty's coming in. Park's going to check out. 16 for the Pioneers. Baker had to throw in. Now Ray has it to Lazar of the Pioneers. Feeds it into the far corner, but too far out of bounds. Cougars will have a throw in. Revon Rainford will be throwing it in for the Cougars. Gets it into Hernandez. Sends it back to Rainford. Sends it to Correa. Correa sends it up into the middle. But there's Yan of the Pioneers pushed off the ball by, but Pioneers still have it. Ray has it on his foot. Sends it back to Baker. Baker gets around, trying to get around, but there's Hernandez feeds it up to WRA Williams. Williams showing trying to get some speed around him down the sideline, but no, Baker fights him off the ball and has it. Baker for the Pioneers. Tries to get it into the middle for Pirrick. Pirrick has it. He's being fought by Marty. Marty feeds it to Ray of the Pioneers has it. Looking for Larrabee. Larrabee does a nice job of keeping it in on that far side. Feeds it into the middle, but there's Hernandez to get it out. And here comes Alvarez. Alvarez on the run. We got some numbers. Alvarez trying to get around Mormino, but no, Mormino, nice defensive play by the Pioneers. Fed up out of bounds. It's out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars. Subbing in, Pena checking back in for the Pioneers. I didn't see the other guy who just checked back in, but Larrabee and Baker come out. They gave in some nice minutes for the Pioneers there. Cougars will have a throw in again. Throws it in. Tall gathers it in. Works it into the middle for Hernandez. Hernandez looking down the far corner for Alvarez, but headed out by Turk. Turk. Penna has it on his foot. Feeds it to Ray. Ray trying to get it back to Penna. He does. But it intercepted by Rainford. Rainford sends it back to the goalie, Oscar. And we're at 11 minutes and counting, folks. Correa has it. Working around the defense. Gets it up to Hernandez. Hernandez for the Cougars. Feeds it up to Alvarez. Alvarez sends a ball deep. And there's Robinson for the Pioneers. Fires it out for 21. 21 to Ray. Ray tries to feed it back to 21, but it's intercepted by the Cougars. Yang to Hernandez. Hernandez feeds it up the side. Jere Williams trying to run it down, but it's kicked out of bounds by Mormino of the Pioneers. Cates throws in for Valencia. Valencia still working in the corner. Still working in the corner. Heels it back to Williams. Nice feed for Tall. There's Rainford. Off the side of the goal. Off the side of the goal. Rainford. I'm not sure what the call was. I think they were calling it offside.
He was behind the keeper, like the Mamadou.
Mamadou was behind the keeper.
He was like working away, but like still.
Oh. So Robinson of the Pioneers puts it back in play for Mormino. Over to Tan. Tan up to Turk. Turk to Pena. Pena into the middle to Lazar. Lazar feeding it over to Novak, but out of bounds. And we got some subs checking in. Rosado will check back in for the Cougars. Yadamama. I don't know. That's a tough one for me. Yadamama for the Pioneers. Hernandez has it to Rosado. Back to Hernandez. Feeds it across for Alvarez. Alvarez gathers it in. Still has it. Still working on Turk. Turk's defending. Get into the middle for Rosado. Rosado trying to get around Tan. But Tan's doing a nice job defending that. Into the middle for Rainford. Rainford sends it back in. Hernandez has it now on his foot. Sends it for Cates, but defended by Pena. Pena. Whoa. Langston. Langston got involved. So good job, Langston. Langston. But hey, Pena for the Pioneers puts it in. There's Tan. Tan up to Turk. Turk. Back to Tan. Tan sends it into the middle. Looking for Perrick. Perrick to Ray. Ray feeds it up the side, but intercepted by Rainford. Rainford sends a high ball. Perrick gets it back for the Pioneers. Ray has it at midfield. Now the Pioneers send a deep, high kick looking for Pena, but Cates defending Pena. Pena still has it. Pena is working some footwork to Yan. Yan sends a cross, but it's out of bounds. And the Cougars will have a throw-in. 7:30 left in the game. Rainford will throw in from deep in the corner of the Cougars. Throws it in to the middle, but there's Turk of the Pioneers to intercept it. Pena has it, trying to work around Cates. Centers, or crosses, I should say. Crosses. Out of bounds. And now the Cougars will have another throw-in. Rainford throwing it in again. Throws it into, looked like Valencia, off of a Pioneer, and we'll have another throw-in. Rainford gets it into the middle to Rosada. Tries to feed it, but Ray of the Pioneers intercepts it. Feeds it into space to Novak. Novak over here on the right side. Trying to work around Hernandez. Little give and go with Pena. Novak still has it on his foot. Cates does a nice job of defending, and the ball goes out of bounds. Setting up a corner kick for the Pioneers. Coming down on 6 minutes remaining in the game. Looks like 10 of the Pioneers will do the corner kick here, and we have a guy on the field.
No, 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 no. You said stop it.
Yeah, stop the clock. We have a guy down. We have a guy on the field. Not sure. Looks like Kate's. We thank everybody for joining us out there in live stream land. We appreciate y'all being there. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast today. We well we thank everybody from Western Reserve for traveling down from Hudson. Uh, we appreciate you coming down. We appreciate you out there listening to us. It's been a very competitive game. Score: Kiski Cougars 1, Western Reserve Pioneers 1. We got 6:04 left in the game. We had a corner kick, and Oscar has the ball. Oscar gives a punt deep, looking for Valencia over Novak's head. Valencia running it down. He still has it, keeps it in bounds, but Novak strips it, but Alvarez gets it back. Valencia tries to feed it. Valencia does have it, still has it on his foot. Sends a drive on goal, but Robinson stops it for the Pioneers. Another good stop by Robinson in the goal. Sends it out to Novak. Novak sends it into the middle for Ray. Ray back. Sends it too far back and deep out of bounds. And that'll give the Cougars a goal kick. That's a big mistake by a corner kick. I'm sorry, a corner kick. That's a big mistake by the Pioneers right there. Giving the corner kick. Hernandez setting up a corner kick for the Cougars. That's corner kick for the Cougars into the middle. Correa just missed. Nice chance by Tony Correa. Just missed.
Because of you, Wesley, you jinxed
And
it.
Sakara will check in for the Cougars. Hernandez checks out.
It's all because of me.
Mormino sends it to midfield. Perrick battling for the Pioneers. Number 12 over there. Battled off the ball by Rainford. Rainford still has it. Little aggressive on the push. They're going to call him for a little bit of a foul. Giving the ball back to the Pioneers. Running down on 4 minutes left in the game. Turk will have it. Nope. He gives it to Yan. Yan will have it for the free kick just over the midfield line. Going to probably send it deep here, see if they can get something on goal. And he does. He sends it deep. Looking for Perrick. Cleared out by Park. Ray sends it back in for the Pioneers, but there's Marty sending it to midfield. No, keep it going. Yep.
Oh, yes, sir.
Valencia has it for the Cougars.
See.
Making a run. Kicks it down into the corner for Alvarez. Alvarez runs it down into the corner. Tan defending. Alvarez gets it into the middle for Valencia. Puts it on goal, but deflected out by the Pioneers, giving the Cougars a corner kick. Valencia will take the corner kick from the far corner. Cougars trying to crowd the box here. Valencia headed
Oh, mamma mia.
headed by Mamadou, just off, out of range. Giving the corner kick for the Pioneers. Robinson looks like he's going to send one deep. I don't know. He hasn't sent one deep yet today. But it looks like he is going to send it. I don't know. Nope. He's just going to send it over to Tan. That's been his play all day. Tan working it up. He sends it deep. Rainford sends it into the middle. Perrick for the Pioneers. Trying to work it. Still working. Perrick still working. Gets to Pena. Pena tries to feed it back. But there's Correa to send it back to midfield. Gathered in by Valencia. Larrabee for the Pioneers defending. Correa now has it. Sends it back to Oscar. We got 2 minutes left in the game. Marty has it for the Cougars. Sends it deep, looking to go deep for Alvarez, but headed up by the Pioneers. Still, Yan sends another header. Gathered in by Valencia. Valencia fighting for it, but no. Sent deep by the Pioneers. Ray for the Pioneers gathered. Then now it's on Correa's foot. Correa to Rainford, but Rainford can't gather it in. Larrabee for the Pioneers will have a throw in on the far side. No, gives it to Turk. Turk will throw it in. Turk throws it deep. Looking for Perrick to Larrabee. Larrabee going for Penna. Penna trying to get around to the Cougar defense. Still has it. Still has it. Still has it. But Oscar takes it off of his foot with a huge save. 1 minute left in the game. That was big time by Oscar. Park back out to midfield. Novak to Ray. Ray for the Pioneers. Weaving in and out. Alvarez steals it for the Cougars. And he puts it in. Alvarez scores for the Cougars with 35 seconds left in the game. Adrian Pulga Alvarez.
Yo, what is that, buddy?
Big scoring chance down on the one end. Oscar with a huge save. Takes it off the foot of Penna. Starts the fast break the other way. And Alvarez finishes on a fast break down at the other end for the Cougars.
Goal for the Kiski Cougars. Number 11.
Oh,
Adrian
go ahead.
Pulga. I don't remember his name. How do you remember?
Alvarez. Mr. Yang for the Cougars. We do have Yang for the Cougars is down. Looks like he's cramping a little bit. We apologize for that. We were getting a little excited. We had a guy injured on the field, and we're up here acting like clowns. Good for pointing that out, Wesley. Thanks, Wesley. We apologize out there. We apologize. Yang's down there hurting. He's got some cramps. He's not really hurting all that bad. He's just cramping up. Way to go, Yu Chen. Good job, Yu Chen. Hey, I will tell you what. This has been a fantastic game all the way around. Western Reserve has played a fantastic game. Cougars have played a fantastic game. Both teams have displayed some real quality soccer here today. And I hope you all enjoyed it at home as much as we did here in the booth. There's still 35 seconds left, so this game is far from being over. And Perrick for the Pioneers. 25 and counting. Yan will put it in. Play for the Pioneers. 20 and counting. Trying for a deep ball. Yan sends it deep. Oh, shot over the goal. Larrabee had a chance for the Pioneers to tie it. Just went over the goal. And that'll bring an end to this game. Fantastic game, both teams. Great game. Final score, Kiski 2, Western Reserve 1. Again, we hope you enjoyed it at home as much as we did here in the stadium. We appreciate y'all being with us today. Thank you. Have a good day. Good night.